Outline podcast, a podcast of Calvary Worship Center in Westminster, where faith meets culture and deeper conversations begin. This is our second episode of our series on Unbecoming to Become. And so if you missed our last episode, go back and catch it. And we're going to just continue on in our conversation. So we kind of ended our last conversation talking a little bit about globalization and actually how that's had an impact on womanhood. Does anybody want to add anything to that at all?
I'll leave it for the ones who took the globalization class.
So what is globalization? Maybe we'll start with that. Or your understanding of it. Anybody?
Do you want to go for it?
Go for it.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
So globalization is the kind of movement of influence and culture, not just from the West to the East, but all over, East to West, West to East, North to South, South to North. And I think just even technology, like going back to what I was saying, now we can go online, you go on your phone, you see people all over the world, even women all over the world, different types of mothers, different types of women, different types of doing all these things. And I just think it's good. I think culture spreading is good.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think there's also space for more pressure.
And for us to look kind of like the same is what I'm finding. Because I think there was a time, I remember going to Ghana when I was a kid. And obviously, growing up in this culture and then going back home to that culture, it was almost like I was split. So kind of like fragmentation is a little bit about what we're talking about in this episode. But like, there's a part of me that's Western. There's a part of me that's Ghanaian. There's a part of me that has an accent because I grew up with Ghanaian parents who were immigrants. And so I learned to say certain words different only to go to school and find out that that's not how you say the word. And then to like go to my home country now and to see people with my skin color where I'm not the minority. And then having that experience as a little girl and then seeing what beauty standards were there and now asking myself, but I thought that this was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not, okay, it's different here. Okay, so where do I fit?
Yeah.
Because I spent so much time thinking that this is what beautiful was. But now I'm realizing that, that's not what beautiful was. Oh, I should embrace my body. Oh, I should embrace my boobs, my butt, my hips. This is all good things. But then like where I'm coming from, like everyone at that time, the models were very thin. I mean, Kim Kardashian has changed all of that. But before her movement, it was everybody's very thin. Right?
Lean. Yeah.
Very lean.
Very lean.
Yeah. And so I
remember that.
Yes,
So
you remember that, right?
That.
90s, early 2000s, like, so just that, I think, when I think of globalization, I think of, sometimes it's a bit of like, people trying to find their identity within all of that. So what does that mean about who I am? And what I bring to the table? And the clothes, I remember even just growing up being like, where do I shop?
Yes.
That compliments me.
Or products for your hair.
Yes.
I remember that. I remember being in, like, telling my mom, like, I want to have, like, shampoo that smells good. Like, because I grew up predominantly Caucasian environments. Sure. And I just remember, like, things that worked for other girls did not work. And it was so, I don't think as a child I understood. I just knew, like, something isn't
clicking.
Something isn't clicking.
Yes.
And something... Like, I felt like, okay, so something must be wrong with me then.
Yeah.
Like, how do I learn how to fit that? Because I remember I got my hair relaxed, too, just to fit.
Yes.
Like, and my mom let me do it because it's like, okay, whatever will help you feel more accepted. Yeah. But similarly, when I went to Jamaica, when I was 18, I think it was 18 or 19, I think that's the first time I was around people that looked like me. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I think it was when I was in university, that's the first time I had even Black friends, like a group.
Yes, I remember you saying this.
Yeah. So globalization helped in that sense of being able to see people.
Yeah. And be like, oh, there's different body sizes and there's different this and there's different that.
Yeah.
And helping, and I think maybe even thinking of the next generation, those are some things. I remember my sister talking a lot about like being so dark skinned. So her and I are different complexions, and she is darker, and that was a thing, right? Where she really struggled in school and trying to find, and then realizing like, oh, there are models who are darker than me. Cool.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful, and the world accepts them.
Yeah.
So I think, globalization has come with a lot. But I think as now, I haven't even added the Christian layer to it. Oh, Jesus, help us. But now as Christian women in a world that's throwing everything at our face, we're still trying to find that, right? Like, how do I dress? How do I put myself together as a woman? And for me, I now as a pastor, how do I dress in a way that other people are watching me, you know? And sometimes I'm marching across the stage. I cannot have things like flailing out and falling out and bloop, bloop. I can't have that. So Lord, how do I present myself in a way that's presentable as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto you? I think those are all the things that, so many layers.
Yeah, so many layers.
I know I've said so many things.
Well, and it's immortalized on YouTube, right? Or on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's immortalized.
Right?
It's forever.
Yeah. So in some ways it's beautiful because who's going to see it and see themselves represented in what they see and have empowerment in that.
Yeah.
But also for us, it's like, oh, I'm on there. This isn't going to go anywhere, right? To try and remove it or scrub it from the internet, right? That doesn't happen unless you're Kim Kardashian, right? So that balance, right? And I think that's maybe where it leads into a bit of isolation too, because you isolate yourself because things are so connected, and it's a way to
Be private?
privatize yourself maybe a little bit more,
Yeah.
because this is the stuff I can control. I can't control if something goes viral, but I can control like how much I want to be in real life, right? Which is too bad. It should be the other way. We should be all in real life connection and more filtered on what we put out there forever, right? So I think we need to rebalance that, right?
Interesting. So in talking about, I know the white pages are still in my mind, right? So that makes me think about how maybe that's part of the reason why we are a bit closed off now than we were. I mean, my parents describe a time where when they first came to Vancouver, like your neighbors would know who you were.
Yes.
Do you know who your neighbors are? Yeah.
I never see them.
That's so funny you say that. Yeah, we just had got new neighbors, and my mom was like, "Oh, you should go bring them." I'm like,
And you're like, why?
Bake them some cookies.
like that, because my mind is, oh, that feels intrusive. Yeah, like I don't want
To welcome someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That feels intrusive.
Well, just to say hi.
Yeah.
Do you know your neighbors though?
I do. Yeah, I do know my neighbors, in my defense, my neighbors just changed. Like they sold their house and they moved out, and a new family has moved in. But yes, I do know my neighbors, and some of my neighbors, I'm like, when I see them walking down the block, I'm like, I'm gonna go to my house. Because this conversation, I'll be out here for another 35 minutes, talking. But yeah, I think that we kind of are, I think in some ways we're running away from not knowing people, but maybe,
Connection?
is it? Are we afraid of being connected because we're afraid of being judged? Or vulnerable?
I was going to say, is it vulnerability?
Yeah.
We want to limit what could be perceived. What we perceive as vulnerability. Because I think what I perceive as vulnerability, you wouldn't perceive as vulnerable, right? And vice versa. I think it would be very different for each of us, right?
Like when we talked about earlier, embarrassment. So what you perceive as humiliating is not humiliating for me, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I think also there's a part of us that we long to be deeply loved. But I think what that's done also is it's put a lot of pressure on romantic relationships because we feel like that's the only place we can get that. But I don't think that it shouldn't be. I should be able to deeply love someone who I'm not romantically involved with and be accepted, fully seen and fully known and fully loved. And I think that it relieves pressure, back to what we were talking about before we ended, it will relieve pressure on womanhood. If I can be deeply seen, deeply loved, deeply accepted, then maybe I don't have to worry so much about having to show up in a certain way.
Yeah, I think that, I think that's the almost paradox of wanting to be, to be seen, you have to let yourself be seen, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how comfortable people are with that.
Yeah.
To let ourselves be seen.
Let yourself be seen or let yourself be vulnerable.
Right. Let somebody
Because
know
that's,
Yeah.
that you're falling apart, right? If you had like your group of your tight, we were talking about this a little bit in the last episode too, right? Is this switch from also just the workforce, right? And this, where do women connect, right? You know, even 20, 30 years ago, connecting at the grocery store, because that was predominantly a female expectation or role, right? You would bump in, you'd see, you know, oh, it's Saturday morning, we're going grocery shopping. I know you, we see each other, we talk over, you know, in aisle 6 or whatever, right? Or, you know, you're talking at church, right? But do we have the free time, or do we give ourselves the free time to be able to connect? Because I find myself having to go, okay, I have to pause because I'm not going to the next thing on a Sunday after service, but I always am. So I'm going to give myself 15 minutes to actually connect with someone at church, right? And it doesn't mean like a new person necessarily, but I'm like, 15 minutes, I'm just going to talk to somebody without the pressure of moving on to the next thing or organizing the next thing, right? Those moments of exhale in our lives, what are we filling them with? Like intentional connection with other women, so that you can say, this week was a mess. I had to balance schedules and soccer practices and basketball practices, and then figure out how to get dinner on the table, and then go shopping, and then organize. I know in my house, I'm the like social coordinator, right? It's not something my husband likes to do, so I'm the one who's like, hey, we're gonna go visit these people, and we're gonna do this, and I just give him the schedule, right? And it's like, I had to do all of this stuff. So there's my like full work week plus the hidden work week, right? That women carry. But where's my exhale as somebody who gets it, right? And I don't want to say that I struggled with it, because there's the vulnerability, right? So I need that space where I can look at somebody and they get it, and I'm like, Rocky, you know, right? You know, right? Like, what did I say to you? I said, this week was like a whole month and 7 days, right? And you just get it, right? But you have to have those moments of exhale and those moments of connection where you're okay to share that. And sometimes it's just a nod, and I'm like, yep.
Sometimes it is a nod.
Right, that's all it is.
I think about church sometimes on a Friday. I'm like, how are you? And it's like, just to be seen in a moment and to be like, you know what? It's okay. I can get through these next 90 minutes. Yeah.
I think you need to find pockets. We all need to find pockets of connection, and because we're all in leadership, right? So there's a lot of giving. Right? There's a constant need for giving. Someone needs this, someone needs that, someone wants to talk. But actual connection, stop. Hey, are you? How are you? Right? Kelly, how are you? And you could, like, 5-minute dump. This didn't happen, and you'll be like,
I feel
right?
better.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes we stop ourselves because we're like, you know, I tried this once and it didn't really go well for me. So I'm like that. Like, I'm like, no, I don't have time for friends. I could be like,
or you don't get the response you're looking
and
for.
you're-
Or I think as leaders, I think I've been experiencing this recently where you do step into a level of vulnerability with somebody, and then it's almost looked at as like weakness.
Yes.
So then it's like, okay, maybe you're not able to do this thing or that. And it's like, no,
That's not what
that's
saying.
not what I'm saying. I'm just like, just hear me. But it's like, you know what? But then it's that having to undo that mindset of like, Samantha, don't bother.
Yeah, right? I would tell myself, I'm like, you know, it's not even, just fine. Just hold it. I can't even be bothered. But just hold it. But you holding it is not doing anything for you inside, right? And then our partners will start bursting into, they'll be like, okay, where did this come from? But it's because all of that pressure, sometimes you just need a girl. Sometimes you just need to be a girl. I'm always telling Pastor Rosa, like, I just need to be a girl for just 10 minutes. Like, I just need to and do whatever I feel like a girl needs to do at that time. You don't want to have to hold all this weight, right? Sometimes you just want to lean on someone to be like, carry it for me for 5 minutes. And you'd be like, okay, I'm good to take it back now, right? But we need those little connections. And I know we're all busy. We're trying to find a date in June. We're only in April.
It's April.
Right?
It is April. Yeah.
But once that date is locked in, it's locked in, right? So we need to find
that
those
space.
Yeah.
And like even spiritually, we're designed to
that.
bear burdens.
Yes.
That's what the
Right?
Bible says.
We're designed to bear burdens. I always think about this in terms of like vulnerability, how in the garden, Adam and Eve were naked and unashamed. That's like the most vulnerable, right? And I'm always like, God, I need those moments.
Yeah.
Like ultimate safety, like ultimate, and also even Kelly, with what you were sharing of creating space to connect with others, I think we also have to be able to connect with ourselves to then be able to even really, because if we don't know, I remember this, like going through a phase where I was like, I don't think I really like myself.
It's so painful. I've been
Yeah.
there. It's not nice.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, no wonder I don't. I have a lot of friends, I have community, but no wonder I don't feel connected. Because I haven't dealt with this thing.
Yep. Where did this come up? Girl on Fire, we were praying, and somebody's prayer point was about peace. Praying for peace. And automatically, as I started to pray, the Holy Spirit was like, peace is trifold. Peace is peace with me. Peace is peace within you. And then peace with others. So I was praying through that, and I was like, God, like, peace with myself. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Peace with me means that I've come to an understanding of who I am and what you've called me to, and I'm at peace. I was watching David, right? David, the newest series on Amazon Prime. And you can see David wrestling with peace with himself. Because he had been given this calling, he did not want it. And then he's being chased into the wilderness and trying to figure out, what does it mean to be me? What does it mean to be Saul's son-in-law? What does it mean to be the future crowned king of Israel? And I didn't ask for any of this. So
Who am I?
Who am I?
Yeah.
Right? Back to this womanhood identity, unbecoming to become. So peace within myself, peace with God. God, I understand what you've called me to. I understand who I am. And I accept this, that my personality may be different or whatever it is you're wrestling with. And I appreciate that you've put me where you've put me. And now peace with others. Now from that place, I can have shalom with other people. But if those two are not there, you can't have shalom with other people. You're just bleeding on everybody else.
I love that you say that, because I have come to this journey of just even crying in church.
Good. Let it be.
I
cry.
could not, for the life of me, cry in church because it's a sign of being vulnerable. It's a sign of maybe like the perception of you're not who other people think you are, and then you carry that weight. So just now, I can cry easily, and cry unabashedly. So it's great. And I remember there was one Friday, I was going to open in prayer, and Emma just asked me how I was, and I started crying. I started crying. And then I sucked up those tears, and I was like, okay, I gotta go open in prayer. I gotta go open in prayer. And then I came back, and I cried again. And I cried again. And afterwards, I was like, thank you. Because that was what I needed. But I've gone through the process of being able just to cry by myself. Being able to cry in the presence of God. And then also being able to cry with others. And then they're not like, she didn't say anything. That was it. So that peace part is vital.
It's essential.
So good. I feel the peace of God here. And I think that's a good place for us to wrap up episode 2. So thank you so much for joining us. This is a podcast of New Westminster, Calvary Worship Center, New West. If you have any questions or anything you'd like us to cover, please, you can send us an email at podcast@calvaryonline.ca. I want to say thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. God bless.